720 WGN, John Hanson in for Steve Bertrand on the Wintrust Business Lunch, sponsored by Wintrust, Chicago's bank, here on 720 WGN. Always look forward to our regular conversations with Bill Geiger, and our conversations with Bill are sponsored by Geiger Wealth Management. Bill, thanks so much for joining us here today.
John, it's good to be with you again, sir.
I read about this wonderful, luxurious vacation you can take, and I imagine as people look forward to retirement, they can't wait to soak up the beach, but there's a lot of, problems and things they need to start taking care of and worrying about. Let's start with pension here in Illinois, because a lot of retirees are expecting their pensions, of course, but we got to talk about situations in which that may not be such a good thing.
Well, John, we were talking before we went on the air about the difference between a tornado and a hurricane.
Yeah.
Right? It can be a beautiful day in the Midwest, and all of a sudden a hurricane pops up out of nowhere.
A tornado does,
A tornado
yeah.
pops up out of nowhere. On the other hand, a hurricane like Francis, we see it coming, we talk about it, we talk about it, we talk about it. And if you're still sitting in your house on the beach,
right,
that's not good.
So you're saying, like, when we watch the news and we see those people that unfortunately stuck around, and even though they were told to get out, and we kind of roll our eyes at them, that's what we're going to be doing financially to people that don't look at this hurricane that's coming at them.
You know it's coming.
So what is the hurricane? Are you talking about the end of the bull market, pension problems?
Well, I'm talking about underfunding and pension plans.
Uh-huh.
In Illinois, for every dollar that's supposed to be in a pension plan to fund the future promises, they have 39 cents.
Wow.
Okay, and that's not going away.
Right.
The same thing is an issue with underfunded corporations' pensions plans. If you know, well, we're talking about this too. If you have a pension plan,
mm-hmm.
you've got to depend upon your employer to make great financial decisions for the next 20 to 30 years, your ex-employer,
mm-hmm.
right? If you have the option to take a lump sum, that means they give you a big chunk of money up front rather than taking that pension. And we do this all the time. We take that money and create private pension plans for our clients.
You take onus and you take responsibility of that money, and you know what you can do with it.
You know what you can do with it. You've got control over it. And the difference between that, again, and a regular pension plan is a regular pension plan, when you and your wife are gone, that money's gone.
Right.
But if you've taken your lump sum and created your own pension plan, you've got money that you can leave to your kids when
almost
you're
like
gone.
A legacy.
Yeah, so all those years that you worked to have that benefit, you can pass that on to your kids as a legacy.
Yeah, that's a
big deal.
That is the huge difference. And I think what's interesting you mentioned there is, as we look at pensions being insolvent and we worry about them, some people that are close to retirement might think, well, I've only got 5 or 6 years till I retire. It'll be okay till then. But you're not talking about till just the day you retire.
No, you're talking about
the 30 years afterward.
20 or 30 years down the road.
Right.
And if you think about it, what's the probability that you're going to be able to enjoy your pension as it is now in these underfunded plans for the next 30 years?
Mm-hmm.
Very low.
Very low. And when you talk about taking that lump sum, obviously then that's a big chunk of change. Hopefully that's good news.
Yeah, that's good news.
Then I wonder, the question is, well, what do you do with it? I mean, that's where you want to build this legacy for the next generation. How are we going to make that become this legacy payment?
We do that all the time. We've got strategies that will take that money and create just a ton of dependable, sustainable income that people can count on
mm-hmm.
for the rest of their lives. Big difference. I mean, the happiest people that ever come into my office know how they're going to be paying their bills for the rest of their life. And it just makes all the difference in the world. If you've got dependable, sustainable income coming in every month you can count on, you're a happy camper.
Yeah, no, exactly. You're on the beach, as we were saying.
Yeah,
but not in the way of the hurricane, of course.
No.
Bill, it's always great to chat with you. Thank you so much for stopping on by today.
Pleasure being here,
We really
John.
appreciate it. And nothing could be more frustrating than working hard your entire life, saving as much as possible for retirement, then having no idea how you're going to make your life savings last 20 to 30 years or more. So Bill and his team at Geiger Wealth can help. They have a special offer for you today. They're going to sit down with you personally to create a full-blown retirement plan. Folks, this is up to a $3,000 value, and it's complimentary for the next 5 callers who have at least $500,000 saved for retirement. Call 800-681-2498. That's 800-681-2498. Together with you, Bill and his team are going to translate the complex financial planning process into easy-to-understand steps with a roadmap to help you get to where you need to be. So call Geiger Wealth right now for your complimentary, personalized, full-blown retirement plan, 800-681-2498. That's 800-681-2498.